Well, we've had some pretty ordinary weather in Sydney over the last couple of weeks, but Sydney has turned it on here for round 12 of the AFL Sydney competition. We're at Waverly Oval for the clash between the UTS Bats and the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs Bulldogs. And as I said, beautiful weather out here, no wind to speak of, and around about 19 degrees. And it should be a good clash. It's 4th versus 8th here in round 12. The UTS Bats have had a pretty up and down season so far in the Sydney AFL. Dropped 3 of their first 4 games, but have clawed their way back. A couple of losses in the last couple of weeks, but on the other side of the ledger, the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs, they've been going along nicely and well on track to defend their 2012 premiership. We're underway here at Waverly Oval. The ball goes forward in the arms there of Boland, just trying to get it out a bit of traffic. Umpire will have a close look at this one, and we'll ball it up. As I said, some pretty ordinary weather. The game between the Bulldogs and Manly, a much anticipated match last week, was washed out, and that will be rescheduled. And on the other side, UTS suffered a loss in the wet to the Western Suburbs Magpies, who are travelling along nicely themselves this year. I'll have a closer look at the ladder later on, but it's a logjam at the moment as the UTS Bats go forward again, trying to get it out of the area. In fact, it's the Bulldogs who just spin around, and Mason swings around on the right, and he scored the first for the Bulldogs, and they open their account. Mason, the only player on the field today in the top 10 of the goal kickers. He's kicked 20 goals so far in 2013, sorry. And that's another one to his tally. So having a good year up there, Big Henry Mason. And we look forward to seeing more of that as the day progresses. As I said, a bit of a logjam in the competition so far, and of course the washout didn't help that in any way as the ladder switches over to a match ratio system. But there are 4 teams on 7 wins, which is vying for that 3rd, 4th and 5th spot. The Manly Warringah and the Bulldogs, 9 and 8 wins respectively. So it's anyone's game here in round 12. And we're yet to see a real clear definition on who will be playing finals at the end of the year. Kafalis now goes long, inside 50, and a good mark taken there in defence, and the UTS Bats are able to stop the attacking motion from the Bulldogs. McFarlane with the ball. Uses the boundary line well. Just inside. In the arms of Davis. Morgan Davis, not a lot on offer. Bulldogs have set up well here. Plenty of players behind the ball, and that will win out. Good spoil there from the back from Lavender. They go forward. Good kick from Plant. Goes back inside to Foot. Foot with a quick handoff. Trying to work this by hand. Now off the boot of Golden, but the turnover comes, and the UTS bats. They go forward, but chopped off very quickly. Henderson for the Dogs. Now Towan. Go inside again, the Bulldogs. They're very willing to use the ball by hand, and I like that in a game of football. Wanting to get the ball moving quickly. And it just wrapped up now. We'll have a ball up. A bit hard here at Waverly Oval. Of course, a holy grail of rugby in the eastern suburbs. But AFL will be playing by the blue lines this afternoon, so a little bit confusing. The kick goes forward. Searching for Lavender. Sorry, it's Nixon. Nixon over the ball, and it comes clear. Plenty of weight of numbers there just for the Bulldogs as they get the ball clear, and another turnover. So both teams playing plenty of players behind the ball, and could have been a free kick there against Nixon. Comes back out. Davis could have given away the free kick there to McAllister, but the umpire says play on. Just falling over at the last minute and getting the free kick for high contact is Morgan Davis. So a good result in the end. Looked like he was going to get tackled. That's what's ahead of him. They go inside. Pack forms, and it falls to the bottom. Good numbers there for both sides, and the ball will be wrapped up. Played 4.5 minutes. It's the Bulldogs with the only score on the board so far. They've got the one goal off the boot of Mason. Ball goes up again. Good tackle applied by Nichols, and the umpire has seen a free kick here. It's in the back, so just after the contest, got him just in the back. So it's a free shot here, I suppose, for the UTS bats. Just work out who will actually get to take the kick. It's actually James Keisha. So a man who doesn't mind a goal. This for the UTS bats to open their account for this afternoon. Looks good off the boot. He likes it, and Casey gets the first on the board for the bats. And they're underway in round 12. A good kick. And off the back of the free kick in close quarters. So a good result for the bats. And at the 5.5 minute mark, it's 6-6 here at Waverly Oval. Keisha with the first for the bats. Mason, the goal scorer for the Bulldogs. We're back in the middle. Not just in the middle now, just waiting for the ball to come back. Great opportunity to play some football here, right in the heart of the eastern suburbs. You can see just there in the background, down the road to the famous Bondi Beach here in Sydney. So, in an area where real estate is of a premium, it's so good to be playing on a ground like this. New development of the ground too. We're shooting from the brand new stands up here at Waverly Oval as the Bulldogs go forward again. Good spoil there off the boot. Kick from Hendricks was spoiled by Keel, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Plenty of numbers around the contest. Good work there by the UTS ruckman to bring it down, but it's the Bulldogs who come away with it. Just going forward, looking for Keel. Just almost brought it in. Falls to his feet. Goes again. In there also is Towan. He's wrapped up. And we'll have a ball up. Small ground here at Waverly Oval allows more players to get around the contest, which is causing a little bit of traffic. The kick inside from Ed Keel, and there's a free kick being given. It's going to go to Mason. interference in the marking contest, so the big man will get a chance to put his second on the board. A kick from about 30 metres. The distance won't be an issue. Accuracy, his only foe at the moment. Mason just kicks a bit of dirt on the way in, but it doesn't matter. It's gone through the middle, and Mason's got his second on the board, and it's the Bulldogs' second. They open up a 6-point lead. Just a free kick. As the ball came in, resulted in the Mason shot on goal. Eight minutes played in the first quarter here at Waverly Oval, and it's the Bulldogs by 6 points. 2-1 in the ruck contest there. Widmer for the Dogs, just doing some hard work there. Nixon with the tackle, another good tackle there. Sorry, Soames it was. And they're away. This one will go down the hill, and we'll have to wait for this to come back, but it'll be a UTS kick. Be a bit of this afternoon. Ground falls away pretty quickly down that road. It doesn't even look like anyone's gone to go and get the ball at this stage. It'll eventually come back into the hands of Mater. In fact, I'll get another one. So Kaizad Mater with the ball. Plenty of numbers, obviously, with the stoppage in play, being able to push back. So he just has to go to the pack. Good work there coming through. I think that was Keisha again. And a good smother. Ball comes soon, but just doing the goalkeeping on the line. Pascoe, and the rush behind the first of the afternoon goes to the Bats. Bulldogs using the space out here. Kafalis wants to go central. In the end, has to go down the line, and it comes through hands. Boland with the ball, just throws on the boot, didn't come off as well as he would have liked, and the free kick will go against Keisha, I think it is. No, up there is Tregoning, and the Bulldogs will be out of trouble again. Oh, Henderson there just slipping through the ball. Free kick was given, advantage paid. 10 minutes played, it's the first quarter. And it's the Dogs by 5. UTS seem to have settled a little bit in the last couple of minutes. Getting a bit of structure back. They go inside. Pack forms. Plenty of Bulldogs at the fall of the ball. Well played. And a nice kick out from Keel as they go down. But plenty of black and teal jumpers around this one. Now Minicello. Handball left to be desired. Good handball there from Williamson, but it's taken as a turnover as well. So just a few skill errors at the moment. Oh, good attack on the football by Kirkhope. Goes forward. Having to track it back there was Nixon. And it falls to Davis. Davis back to Nixon. Now in the arms of Keisha. Just couldn't get the right side of the ball. And squeezes it through for another behind. 4 points the margin. Ticked into the 11th minute of the game. It was a good start by the Bulldogs, but UTS have just worked their way back into the game. So important in these days to make sure you don't allow your opponent to get a strong start in the game. It's very hard to come back from. The big long kick, Widmer the target, Nixon there as well. Floating back was Pascoe, and they get it forward again, the Bats. In there's Keisha. No, it's not. In fact, it is Keisha wearing the 2. Late change there. Normally wears number 6 and forces the rush behind. So good work by the UTS forwards to just lock that one in. And the Bulldogs now need to find a way out. A good zone setup by the Bats. And this is going to be, it's just on the money. And a good kick to Robbie. Robbie now short again, goes inside, finds Golden. Golden now with a bit of space down the middle. Looks for the mark. Oh, Widmer with a big fist and brought it down. That's a fantastic mark for the big man. Keel could have got the free kick. Falls now to Mason. Now throws it on the boot, going towards goal. Has it got the right bounce? No. And just the behind. 2-1, the Bulldogs. Steinfort, his kick, well, that's not the greatest kick. They go again, the Bulldogs. Looking for a mark inside 50. Only black and teal jumpers there. Just trying to get the ball clear. Working hard at ground level was full. Now Widmer, good work at ground level. He gets it up to Kafalis. Kafalis on the boot. Very sure and steady boot of Peter Kafalis. And the Bulldogs get something out of nothing. And they get another one on the board. 3-1. They lead UTS 1-3. The margin 10 points. At 14th minute mark, first quarter. Some good work there by Widmer at ground level. Just able to pick that ball up and get it quickly out to Kafalis. And sized up his options and saw the goals and put it right away. Back in the middle, the ruckman goes. There's a whistle, not a strong whistle, but the boundary umpire's called a whistle here. It's going to go to the Bulldogs. The UTS are away, so that sort of thing hurts. Widmer with the kick out, finds Golden. Put a bit of pressure on him, but he was up to the task. Golden now short, good kick. He's found McKinlay. McKinlay wants to move the ball quickly. Goes inside again. Oh, great mark taken. But the umpires said it was a push in the back, so too bad for Dylan Roos. His first touch of the game. And they go out wide now. Good work by Nichols. His handball over. Well, umpire will have a close look at this one. Ball's gone out. We'll have a boundary throw in. 15 minutes played, first quarter. It's the Dogs by 10 points. Widmer up against Porter. It's a tall man, Augustine Porter. Brings this one down, but good work at ground level by the veteran Kafalis. They go across, McKinlay tracking it back. Keel there as well. Wants to turn around. Just does enough to get away from his opponent. And now puts it on the boot, looking for Mason. Just touches the ground. They play on. That'll be a free kick. Kicking in danger. Not exactly sure he had any malice in there. Just didn't want to take on the attacking player in Max Collett. Wanted to get the ball clear, but Collett was too quick and played it well. Got a perfect view of this one. Max Collett looking for the fourth for the Bulldogs. Off the boot, looks good on the left. Great kick by Collett. He's got another one on the board for the Bulldogs. And they get their fourth. Margin now 16 points. It's good work by Collett to draw the free kick in the first place. Just get his head over the ball. And finished it off beautifully. So Collett gets his first. And the Bulldogs fourth. Out of the middle now, the UTS bats working hard. Free kick off the ball. Gone back to the bats. Kick inside. Finally gets its way through to Davis, but he just couldn't handle it. And now working hard. In there was Flanagan. Davis again with the tackle. Umpire says, I'll have it. And there'll be a ball up. Plenty of players around this. Good ruck work there by Porter. Pushes them forward. But it's the Bulldogs with a bit of space. Down the line, good work. Trying his work his player under was Troon for the Dogs. UTS drive it in again. Good punch by Pascoe. And we'll have a boundary throw in. It's a good start to the Bulldogs. They lead by 16 points. Boundary throw in. Good ruck work there on the part of Rodriguez. Must be doing the ruck work in the forward line. UTS now trying to find some space. Running out of room was Flanagan. And we'll have another boundary throw in. The numbers around this ball. Really only 4 players not in this contest. Just forward of the ball on the Bulldogs side of the ground. Good work there to get the ball clear. And Henry Mason gets it. There's nothing in front of him. That's why he had to stop. And he's been lucky to get the free kick. He can just tread a little bit of water here. Wait for some players to move forward. Probably could have waited a little bit longer. Running away from him. Keel there out of position. And UTS able to get the ball out of the danger zone. Now in front of Atkinson. Has to jink and weave. Goes back one way, goes the other. And tries to find a player down the line. 2-on-1 contest. He'll have to be good, Nixon. The Dogs get it away. Another turnover. A lot of turnovers in the middle of the ground here at Waverly Oval. Could have been a free kick against Rodriguez. Umpire says play on. They're away now, the Dogs. Chance to straighten up. 1-on-3 contest here, so not smart football at the moment, but Keel is good enough to do it. Gets the ball and has a shot just offline and gets the behind. 4 goals, 2. Top work there by Ed Keel Jeremy Keel, brother, to beat his opponents. It was a 3-on-1 contest. I'd almost called him out of it. Proved me wrong. Just didn't finish off with the kick. Steinfort wrong-footed by the ball. And wrapped up again. They've got the numbers here, the UTS, if they can control it. They can't control it. And a little bit of fire here. Not happy with his treatment was Kirkhope. Ended up through the gates. And as quickly as it started, it's all over. Dangerous position here. There's only about 3 metres between the fence and the boundary line, so umpires will have to be red hot on that. And good handball out comes to Tregonning. Tregonning looks up his options. He's got one down long. And at the back of the pack, good work by Lavender, able to turn back on the left, gets it forward, just not on target, and tracking it back well was Plant for the Dogs and able to get it clear. Now with McAllister. McAllister to Robbie. Robbie down the lines, found McKinlay. They've worked this well, the Dogs. Can they find a target forward? Mason is the target, couldn't bring it in. Just falls flat, but a good effort by McKinlay to follow his kick through. Handball now, Keel, well, he was troubled out of it by Troon. It's almost a free kick against Troon for tackling Keel high. But in the end, it's a UTS Bats kick. 21-minute mark of the first quarter. Happy to go short. Found Hendricks. Hendricks playing with the boundary line. Coming forward there was Nixon. He's been very lively in this first quarter. Has Tom Nixon. Rodriguez up against Porter. Porter certainly got the height there, but Rodriguez read it well. Gets it down. Now, good kick through from Golden. They've worked it inside 50. Good work once again by Keel. Throws it back on the left boot. Has it got the legs? Has it got the accuracy? It has. And Keel scored an amazing goal. Just swung round on the left boot. It's gone straight through the middle. And the Bulldogs get another one. Good work there by Jeremy Keel. Just tracked the ball in. He was able to throw it quickly on the left boot. And just bounced through for their 5th. And a few worrying signs now for the Bats. 1 goal, 3. They trail by 23 points. 5 goals, 2, the Bulldogs. Into time on here at Waverly Oval. We're back in the middle. Porter gets the height, but Rodriguez does the ruck work and the ground work. Throws him inside again. Can they get a last one? Chopped off by Batten, and he wants to go inside. Found McFarlane. One-on-one contest in front of him, so has to find something else. Does so. Minicello on the wing. Third left foot. Goes up. Oh, good work. Running well was Boland. Ran into some space. Now it's in the hands of Tregonning. Can Tregonning find the goals? Just can't bring it back enough. And another behind. They've had some opportunities, the Bats. Haven't been able to put the score on the board. Good defensive setup by the UTS Bats here. Bulldogs playing this midfield huddle, whereas the Bats really pushing up into the zone formation. A lot easier to play that zone football on a smaller ground. And what can the Dogs do? They try to go down where the numbers are. They converge. Nixon with a handball from the front. Plenty of numbers there. It was good work by Towan. McKinlay goes inside. Handball off target. But once again, second effort was good. They've turned it over though. UTS. In fact, it's not Keisha, it's McFarlane. He's run down. And reward for effort there from Nichols. A good tackle. The kick out in front of his teammate in Soames. But UTS have turned this over again. What have they got up forward? A good kick. Now in the arms of Spragg. Jonathan Spragg wants to go. Does. Top of the square. Got in front there was Lavender wearing 23 and almost rushed through for behind and is. And don't think they're playing the same rules they played last weekend in the AFL. Be a very brave man to call that one as a deliberate rush behind. Toying with a bit of dangerous kicks there, but it's in the arms now of the Bulldogs defender. Down the line, 2-on-1 contest. Mason does well to bring it down the ground. Widmer, the two big men joining up. Now in the arms of Troon. Troon goes forward. What have they got forward? Plenty there, but it's a good run by UTS and just able to get it up to the time. Now it falls favourably for Atkinson. Atkinson's kicks come off the side of the boot. Could have been fortuitous. Lands now with Poole. Poole throws it on the boot and he's offline again. 1 goal, 6 for UTS. They've had plenty of possessions in this last 5 minutes, but none able to put it on the board. Margin back to 20. 25 minutes played. As they set up again, the Bats. Given a little bit of extra time, obviously, with a bit of open space behind the goals to set this one up. And just deciding to go short are the Dogs. Plant with the ball. His kick's a very good one. Didn't break stride. It's Ruse. And down the line, just inside the boundary line, Troon takes the mark. Wants to play on. UTS have gone back in numbers, so has to go short. Does so. McKinlay working his way into the game. Just treading the water out here on the outside of the 50, and Ed Keel with the ball now. The numbers have flooded back, and just puts it up top of the 50 arc. Falls fortuitously there for Golden. Just couldn't find a teammate. Working hard at ground level, trying to get it clear. Just throwing it on the boot. Can they bring something out of nothing? Mason's underneath this one. Couldn't bring it down. UTS need to wrap this one up, and they will. It'll be a ball up. About 20 metres out from goal. 26 and a half minutes played. Good punch there from behind. Now, Plant has to jink and weave. Does so. And just throws it out of bounds. So not a good result for Plant. And UTS now are away. Kicks. Trying to invent something here, and boundary line threatening. Atkinson it was who tracked the ball back, but eventually ran out of space. Widmer and I think it's Porter still. Atkinson there trying to work it again. Now in the arms of Batten. They've done well, the Bulldogs. Kick inside 50 came off the boot of Ruse. They go inside. Can they work this way back? Mason trying to get it through. Ball still at ground level. Working hard was Kirkhope, but he's turned it over. Now it's in the hands of McKinlay. McKinlay leans back, throws it on the boot. Turnovers will kill you, and McKinlay has put another one on the board for the Bulldogs. That's their 6. They might increase the margin. 26 points. Jack McKinlay opens his account for the afternoon. Just unable to kill the football, or at least get it out of the attacking 50 were the UTS bats on that occasion. At the 28-minute mark, it's the Bulldogs by 26 points. Widmer and going up against Porter again. This one at the back falls to the advantage of the UTS bats. Hendricks with the handball back, just having a track of that. It'll be a free kick. Umpire saw it, but the siren sounded. So, the end of the first quarter, opportunities were looming for the UTS bats. They just weren't able to put them on the board. Whereas at the other end of the ground, the Bulldogs made the best of every opportunity. So, margins 26 points at the end of the first quarter. We'll take a short break. We'll see you back here for all the action from the second quarter here of AFL Sydney round 12.
Very quiet first half. But since then, he's developed this swing. He's young blokes, he wasn't.
Set here at Waverly Oval for the second quarter, and at quarter time it was the Bulldogs leading by 26 points over the UTS Bats, 6-2-38. Just a single goal, 1 goal, 6-12 to the Bats, the home side here at Waverly Oval. What can they do in this second quarter to try and get themselves back in this game? They can't let this margin get out too far. As we know, it's very hard to come back when you get yourself too far behind the 8 ball. And we're set for the second quarter. Umpire Frank Kalasic holds the ball aloft, and we're underway. And already good attack on the football by the Bats. They drive it forward. And, good mark taken. I think it's Nixon. Umpire has called it. There was a bit of confusion. In fact, it is Lavender. And he will go back, and within a minute, the first opportunity for the UTS Bats to get one back. A known goal kicker is David Lavender. And would dearly like to see this one go through. Distance won't be an issue. Good strike of the football. Umpire hasn't moved an inch. Straight over the umpire's hat. And the first on the board inside a minute for UTS. So a good start to them in the second quarter. Exactly what they needed. Margin back to 20 points. Another goal like that would be well received by the UTS crowd. Good crowd down here at Waverly Oval. They've got the jumping castle going. There's plenty of people walking by. A ground like this with a lot of foot traffic is going to attract a crowd, and grandstand here very conducive to watching a good game of football in the sun on a Saturday afternoon. The umpire bounces this, lets it one go. I don't know what that's about, but we'll go with it anyway. And wrapped up. He'll have to do the secondary bounce either way. In there is Rodriguez, flailing his arms about, trying to get it clear. Bounce really should have been recalled. Rodriguez again just gets his fingertips to it on the way down. Swinging the boot at it was Collett, trying to get the ball moving forward. Good tackling there in the clinches. I think it's Michael Poole or McFarlane in there as well. A little bit of intensity in the opening stages of this second quarter. Porter with a good knock forward. Once again, ball at ground level. Pack forms over the top of it. It's going nowhere. Trying to get the ball clear was Ruse. Does so in the end. So Kafalis, nice little spin move. Goes forward. Plenty of high football. Umpire's seen a free kick here. Kalasic. And he's against Jeremy Keel. So it'll be a kick to David Batten of the Bats. Steinfort with the ball, fresh off the set of the Today Show this morning, doing a fine job. They go down the line, working it well. Tried to go without it, was Mate. He had it in his hands, turned, and it just popped out. So under a bit of pressure, Porter and Rodriguez again. Porter at the back with the height advantage, just wants to put it forward. Need to get to the bottom of the pack. He's going to win these contests. Just not taking there. It's high contact. And the kick going to the Bats. So on a little bit of a surge here at the moment of the Bats. And a good kick out the front. Well read and well taken by James. Sorry, Davis. Andrew Davis. Too far out, so he decides to go short. Now looking for Poole. Poole on the inside, outside on the left boot. Has it gone through? It's a fantastic goal there from Michael Poole. Read it well, threw it on the outside of the left boot and was able to curl it back. And another one on the board for the UTS. A fantastic start of this second quarter. Well, it just didn't look like he was any chance there of getting that one through, and he just worked it. Nice little check side off the left boot. Sailed through the middle. No second thoughts from the goal umpire. And at the 4-minute mark, the margin back to 14 points. UTS on a little bit of a surge here. Porter just trying to get the ball. He's much better with the ball up in the air than he is on the ground, and tackled well. Well, that was tough. Morgan Davis. Ball was still moving. It was coming through. There was plenty of arms on it. Kafalis now. Drives it inside. For the ball there is Troon. Does well to get it inside. UTS players here. And as is Michael Towan. Got some work done in that first quarter. Good to see him back out there. UTS now. Having to go long. Not a bad option. Oh, and a good mark taken. Steinfort. So he's wiped the sleep out of his eyes. Had a little rest in between his morning duties and now, and he goes long looking for Lavender. Too far for him, couldn't get the hands up. We saw a game last year where Lavender just dominated a game here at Waverly Oval. We'd like to see a bit more of that. He's got one on the board this afternoon. As they go forward again, the Bats. And mark taken there. Good mark from Tom Nixon. As front colours have just come in here. He's going to overrule. Going to talk about it. What's the opportunity? Not exactly sure what's going on here. The umpire called a mark initially. Whether or not the ball was touched off the boot. That's the only explanation I can think of. The ball was touched off the boot. The second umpire didn't hear the call. So they're going to call the ball up. Good decision in the end. Good work there from Porter. Throws it forward, but it's the Bulldogs on the last line. Going forward, Troon attacking it, as is McKinlay. Just works it sideways. Just didn't do enough with it in the disposal. The Bats, Steinfort trying to invent something there going forward, and wrapped up in a good tackle was Batten. And he's holding the ball. McKinlay, I like the second and third efforts of this young fella. He's been very impressive. That one's touched. They go forward, but not far enough. Oh, solid hit. And the boundary wins out. So a little bit in this game now. Margins back to 14 points. It was out to 26 points at one stage. UTS with the first two goals of this quarter. Short throw in. Porter and Rodriguez Comes down. Good work out of the pack there from Ruse. And just chopped off by Steinfort. Has to go short. Not a good kick at all. And in the arms now of Joel Robbie. Now, that's what's in front of him. He could have had a shot, but decides to go top of the square. Not a lot there. Two UTS bats take each other out. Falls to Troon. Throws it in as easy as you like. And Richard Troon has another one on the board for the Bulldogs. Unfortunately there for the bats. Two players running into each other. Both of them ended up on the deck. And Troon was good enough to pounce on the loose ball and drew it through for another goal. So the margin back out to 20 points. Eight-minute mark here, the second quarter. I've put like Mason into the ruck, and it's worked dividends for them at the moment. It's time for their just UTS getting each other's way in the back half of the ground. Steinfort throws it on the boot. That one's going to go out of bounds. So not a lot going right at the moment for the UTS defenders. Ruse, chiseling kick, just came off the boot awkwardly. And UTS pounce, kick out from Tregonning. He's found Mater. Ball's touched off his boot. Got the advantage there of Kirkhope trying to get the ball free. Lavender there in assistance, gets it back, but weight of numbers for the Bulldogs. Now with Parmenter. Haven't seen a lot of him this afternoon yet. Work his way back into the game. Just playing a little bit of tempo football, the Bulldogs at the moment. Slowing the game down a little bit. At the back there is Keel lurking, but so is Batten for the Bats. And the boundary line wins out. Approaching the 10-minute mark here in the second quarter. Widmar, it is in the ruck. Up against Prince for the Bats. Widmar in there amongst it. Secondary bounce. Approaching 10-minute mark, as I said, in the second quarter. Margin 20 points. Now out in front of Mater. He's wrapped up in a good tackle. In fact, it's Tregonning wrapped up in a tackle there by Ruse. Comes down now. Good work from Wickhamfalas. Just seems to always have enough time to get the ball to boot. And this occasion falls to the deck. Steinfort now pounces on it. They've got a few numbers going forward here. If it bounces for... It's Davis there. It did. He was wrapped up in a tackle, and now it's going back the other way. Plenty of bats around this one. 2 on 4. Steinfort does a good job to bring that to the ground, but the 4 just didn't help out. That's going to sting. Nixon with a red brand new Sharon slam right in the face. It's not a warm day over here. A bit of a chill factor, and that will sting just a little bit. Good work coming out of the traffic there from Towan. Back in it again. Trying to invent something. That handball just didn't come off. Or could have been a high tackle, but it's a solid one by Towan. And the full brunt of that was Morgan Davis from the Bats. Widmar punches it forward. Kirkhope, just indiscriminate kick. Turned over. Good kick now to Kafalis. Very much the general of this Bulldogs side, Peter Kafalis. Now with Ruse, tries to show, slips over at the crucial moment, and the turnover. And the Bats. Now with Keisha. That's for a little run. Tries to get a little bit of extra distance. Working back was Davis, but well read there by... I think it was Plant. And a good run. Now with a second effort. That'll be high. So he's done well here. Free kick against Kazad Mater. Plant showing a bit of toe off the back line. One-on-one contest in front of him. Give it some height, get it long. Does so now. Oh, and a good mark taken. Exactly what they needed. Henry Mason has kicked 2 already this afternoon. Just what's going on here? Just palmed off. Sorry, took the eyes off the football for a second, and he's kicked it over to give Joel Robbie an opportunity to have a shot at goal. More of an angle, didn't really get much distance. What can Robbie do? No breeze to speak of. Needs to get it pure off the boot and does so. And Joel Robbie gets another on the board. So after a bit of a slow start for the Bulldogs, they've worked their way back in. They've got 2 more on the board. That one off the boot of Joel Robbie. Margin back to 26 points.
I can't tell because he just never smiles. You know, he's such a serious guy sometimes.
Back in the middle. And the UTS bats have worked this one out, but once again the turnover is hurting them at half forward. Nichols just has a bit of a run. Tries to find a teammate in Soames, but they've turned it over again. UTS, they need to find a target at half forward. Plant, some very good work in the last couple of minutes. Drives them forward, well read by Hendricks. And not a bad option now to work the switch. Just needs some support. Need to work their way across. Great smother off the, Shepherd off the ball. Clean passage. Nice little kick there by Nixon. Let's see who it was that laid the Shepherd, but it was a fantastic Shepherd. Gave Nixon a little free run at it, and his little kick over to Keisha, and an opportunity to get another on the board. Kicked one already, James Keisha, this afternoon. Getting a good look at the goals today. They're shooting them from very good angles for the camera. We'll track this one in as it comes through as well. Oh, maybe we should leave it go. Just pushes it left and are behind the result. 3 goals, 7-25. UTS, too many universities. University of New South Wales, Eastern Suburbs, 8 goals, 250. The margin, 25 points. It's ticked over 15 minutes here in the second quarter. It was UTS who came out of the blocks in this quarter and kicked the first 2 goals, but the Bulldogs have been able to steady the ship and kick 2 of their own. Oh, this one's a nasty turnover now with Nixon. Has a look, smothered off the boot. Well read. Let's pull. Hands over. Finds Tregoning. Tregoning goes back inside again. Just has to hurry the kick. Has it got a nice bounce? It won't get there. And mopping up was McAllister for the Bulldogs. And they've turned it over again. So just a few skills lacking off the boot. Going forward, had a nice run at it there. Nixon just couldn't bring it in. Kafalis throws it on the boot, playing with the boundary line. And in the end, it dribbles over. Back in now. Coming away with it was Nichols for the Bulldogs. Drives it down the line. Well read and well played. They go forward again. Good read by the UTS defender in Boland. And they spin it wide. Now with Kirkhope. He finds Davis. This is where they've been falling down with the turnovers. They go back inside. So he's a target. Good kick and a good read. Tregoning now looks for Lavender. He's got an open goal. He just goes long. Hasn't got the legs. Running it back there is Kirkhope. Bounces awkwardly. Won't go through for a score. They've got an opportunity though, the Bats. They swarm on this one. Quick kick off the deck. In fact, out of the hands was Keisha. Just couldn't bring it back far enough. Out of bounds on the full, the result. Bulldogs bring it back in. Just a little quiet period in the game. Wrapped up. Exception there to the tackle of Poole. And now in the arms, well, it was Foot who got it clear. And the Dogs have been able to work it out. Tracking it back was Steinford. Couldn't bring it in. Just hangs off the back of the pack. Gets it back, but is tackled out of it. Good work there by Batten. He's now wrapped up in a tackle. The ball spills free. Mason now on the run. Gives it to Kafalis. Just always the general. He seems to have time to weigh up some options and get it forward. Good work there by the Bulldogs. They've worked it well here now with McKinlay. Has an open goal to run into. Does so and puts it on the board. McKinlay gets his second. And the Bulldogs open up. Nice 31-point lead. Jack McKinlay. Lively character across half forward, and that one really opened up for him. Eighteen and a half minutes played, second quarter. It's the Bulldogs by 31 points. They started the quarter well, did the UTS, kicked the first two. But since then it's been all Bulldogs. And this one's starting to slip away from the bats. Plenty of football to be played. Porter and Rodriguez. Porter's certainly got the jump, but look at this read by Kafalis, and then just dishes off. Does well to just bring his teammates into the game. And now UTS have got a chance to go forward again. Lavender, the target. Good work at the back there from Henderson. Still in there is McAllister, and they've worked it clear. Davis trying to track it in there, has to wrap it up. It's not doing a lot. They're pleading their case. The Bats almost had a opportunity to get a kick there. Umpire says no. Rodriguez has two jumps at it. And in the end, Nichols it was, got a sweeping handball out, and they're on the run now, the Bulldogs. Troon drives them forward. Plenty of run at the back of the pack. Keel runs onto it. Nice handball. Free kick coming. Advantage to be played. Parmenter. Open goal. That's two in a row. And Parmenter gets on the board for the Dogs. It's their 10th. A pause in play as the goal umpire waiting for the all clear, and eventually gets it. Now the boundary umpire there was waiting on the line for the flags to be flown. I'm sure that's protocol, but let's get the ball back into the middle. Margin out to 37 points. Rodriguez, good work there. He's the only one who touched it. Did the ruck work, bounced, got it back up, handed off, and they drive forward. Troon now tracking back for the Dogs. And his kick's not a great one. And Steinford having to do a lot of work there, Tom Steinford across half back. And not a lot on offer when he looks up. Tregoning it was in the end. Could have been a free kick. The player certainly ran over the mark there. Oh, nice take and go from Kirkhope. In fact, it wasn't Kirkhope, it was Davis. Off the boot now of Nixon, looking for Lavender. Can't bring it in. Nice little touch. Puts it in front of Spragg, but they couldn't get it clear. And Nichols sweeps for the Dogs, although the kick didn't find a target. And then running on again was Kirkhope. Can he swing this one back? This ball's still in play. Over the top of it there, it was Towan. Wrapping him up in a tackle was Andrew Davis. Lavender in there now, so plenty of tackles being applied here at Waverly Oval. It's almost like a rolling maul, more suited to see on this field. And nothing really coming of it. In the end, coming out with Spragg, throws it on the boot. Lavender, in fact it's not Lavender, It's Mater. So, good work by Spragg. He just threw it on the boot, gave it some air. And Kaizad Mater will now have a shot from about 25 out. Slight angle, but shouldn't be a problem. Desperately need this one, the Bats. And they get it. So Mater gets his first for the afternoon. The Bats get one back. That's their fourth. 22, nearly 23 minutes played in the second quarter.
Georgie.
As we return to the centre, UTS doing a little bit of work there, trying to get this one clear. They need another couple of goals and they need them quickly. Good work just to pop the ball in front, keep the ball moving. Davis now with a good tackle, gives the opportunity now, running on Tregoning. He hands over to Poole. Can they get it inside? And just to the right. Would have been a good goal. But in the end, it's their 8th behind. 4 goals 8, 10 goals 2. Even scoring shots on the ledger, the margin 30 points. The Dogs now, a little bit of a scrappy play, trying to get it out of their defensive half. They do so now, off the boot of Golden. He goes down the line, almost brought in there by Batten, but it's Keel who's going to get the free kick for a push in the back. It'll come back. Jeremy Keel been a bit quiet this quarter. Batten's done a very good job on him. And the kick is almost perfect. Just bounced in front of Parmenter. Swings it back, trying to get it there on the one-hander. Threw it out was Mason. And he will go back and have an attempt at his third for the afternoon. Good work by Parmenter. Great work there also in the initial stages by Keel. It's a good kick inside. Mason. This to open the margin to 36 points. Right in the shadow of half-time. Mason's kick is offline and goes through 4 behind. 10 goals 3. The Bulldogs. The scoreboard here has a slightly different score. We'll check that. It's only a 1-point differential at this stage. Once again, the Bulldogs go forward trying to find Troon there, but he is swamped by 2 UTS defenders. Porter and Widmer. Widmer does well, get this one down. Now in the arms of, that was Foot, drives it forward, and a good mark taken by Adamson to stop the thrust of the Bulldogs. Adamson maintains the position on the outer side, and there'll be a free kick going to the Bulldogs. So a couple of free kicks hurting as well as the turnovers. Almost seeming desperate to straighten this one up, but in the end has to go backwards. Goes to Soames, and there's going to be a free kick. No, they're going to play it on. I'm sure that was interference there by Mason. The umpire determining all fair. Porter with the ruck work got the height advantage over Mason, and wrapped up in a tackle is Robbie. And we'll do it all again. 26.5 minutes played, 31 points the margin here in the second quarter at Waverly Oval. And we'll have a tertiary bounce. Ball not moving out of this pocket area. Good work there from Mason to drive it forward. And the siren sounds for half-time here at Waverly Oval. Umpire hasn't heard the siren. Has now. And holds the ball aloft. A little bit of tete-a-tete in the contest there, but we'll go into half-time with the Bulldogs. 31-point margin. They've got kicked 10 goals, 63. UTS 4 goals, 32. It's half time here at Waverly Oval, and we'll be back in around 10-15 minutes time. All the action from the second half here. It's round 12 of the AFL Sydney competition, and it's the Bulldogs by 31.
Sal.
Oh, no, I think it's upstairs. I think that could be the...
Yeah, I think that's disabled. Sorry. Disabled.
I'm surprised the Aussies didn't want to support. Yeah, they came out and made one or two comments, and man goes, yeah, we're kind of looking at this.
should have put your cards on the table like Foley. So, what do you think?
Just about set here for the third quarter at Waverly Oval. UTS versus the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs Bulldogs. Very good crowd in here this afternoon to watch this round 12 game here at Waverly. And we're underway in the third. UTS with a little bit of work to do if they're going to get themselves back into this. They start off well going forward. Handball over by Pascoe, and Nichols is in there as well. Wrapped up is Keisha applying the tackle. 31 points the margin. It's 32 points the margin. We did fix up that scoreboard at half time. Poole throws it on the boot into the pocket, tracking it back. It was McAllister, and the free kick or out of bounds on the full. Doesn't really matter. McAllister goes to Kafalis. And then has to go to a contest. Oh, good grab there taken by Nixon. Nice little ride. And they go into attack again. A kick was well weighted, perfectly weighted for Lavender. Didn't break stride, ran onto it. And David Lavender will go through it. So some fantastic work there by Tom Nixon. And Lavender will have the first shot on goal in this third quarter. Does know how to kick a goal, David Lavender. And he likes it off the boot. Has it got the legs? It's just on the line touched. Thought it might have just made it, but in the end, they're ninth behind UTS, so they need to really work on getting the kicking straight. And this one goes out of bounds, so we'll have a boundary throw in the shadows here at Waverly Oval. Widmar brings it down. McFarlane it was who applied the tackle just as quickly as it got there. Collett wrapped up. Another ball up. Nice short little throw up there, and coming off the boot under pressure was Atkinson. Ball goes out of bounds on the full. Nichols with the ball. In fact, the umpire's going to call that touched. So it'll be a boundary throw in. So not exactly sure what's going on here. Widmar will go up against Davis. The tallest ruck contest you'll see this afternoon. On the tackle there was Lamont. Not seen much of him. Porter. Now there's some height. Now wants to go almost backwards by going sideways, and has found a teammate in Morgan Davis, and he's indicated to all in sundry that the goals is his option. So he has to go back now and make sure of it. Morgan Davis yet to open his account this afternoon. Good looking kick off the boot, hasn't got the legs. What can they do on the line? The Bulldogs now under pressure. Parmenter could have been in the back. Umpire says play on. They go backwards now, the UTS trying to find an avenue through to goal. Tracking it back there was Mater, but it's the Bulldogs with all the numbers, and they find some space on the outer wing, and they're moving the ball well. Keel out the front of Collett, just has the bounce. It does so now. Back inside now with Troon. Planted actually was. They come inside and work this well, and it's a beautiful team goal by the Bulldogs, and fantastic finish. Just worked that ball well, so well up the side, and nice finish in the end. So the opening goal goes to Golden of the Bulldogs. They're 11th. His first. 9 individual goal scorers amongst their 11 goals, with only Mason and McKinlay, the multiple goal scorers for the Bulldogs. So finding plenty of avenues to the big sticks are the boys from the eastern suburbs. 4 minutes played, third quarter. Widmer, nice little touch over. Tracking it back though was McFarlane for the Bats. Left boot down the line. Mater, handball back to Davis. Davis moves it on to Tregonning. Tregoning's little kick inside. Oh, it was set up there. Nice for Keisha. Just didn't bring it down. Only went with the one hand. Now the turnover comes. Good tackle applied there on Widmer. Now they've got an opportunity, the UTS boys. High ball inside. Looking there for Davis. But the ball has come out. Davis wants to play on with it. There is a whistle on play. Umpires found a free kick. And advantage not paid. The kick will come back to Tom Nixon. Deep in the boundary line here. Be a good kick. He's got plenty of space to come around. No player really marking the play off the ball, although the ball's not in his hands yet, and here they come. Nixon with it all in front of him. Heavy angle. Do well to get this in. A few leads come. Ignores those. He's just going to go back now. Straight through, drop punt. Umpire has a good look at it. It's faded across goals. It's out of bounds on the full, so not a good result for Nixon. Bulldogs now, Golden, the goal scorer in the back half. Gets it on to Foot. Foot back to Golden. Some space out here. Shroon. Back to Robbie. They've moved it well. A nice ball movement of the Bulldogs. Widmer across to McKinlay. UTS haven't touched this. They have now, and a good mark in the end taken by Batten over the top of Keel. Moves it on quickly to kick. Puts his team under a little bit of pressure there, and Hendricks up to the task. Steinfurt in the shadows. Call says to force it down the line. He decides otherwise and changes the switch. Not a bad option. Opens up a little bit of space. Just needs support from the teammates, and this one's gone out. Porter just couldn't bring it in. And a boundary throw in the result. Porter and Widmer. Porter did well there, but it comes down to the Bulldogs. Towan. Nice little short kick into Keel. That'll be 50-metre penalty. You can't do that. Frank just stringing it out. Most umpires will call it and run. So this will be a given to Keel. 50-metre penalty, well justified. It's way too late. And Keel has the opportunity to throw this onto Bondi Road. Hoping for a nice little chip here, the UTS administration, and they get it. A goal to Keel, and he now has 2, so he adds his name to the multiple goal scorers list. And the Bulldogs have 12, the margin 43 points. It's starting to get ugly for the UTS boys. Eight and a half minutes played, third quarter here at Waverly Oval. It's the Bulldogs by 43 points. This one comes down. Good work at ground level by the Bulldogs midfield. Parmenter in there. Almost runs down Plant in his attempts to get to the footy. Still on it. Now with Collett. Now Parmenter gets it. Well done. Hands over to Robbie. They've worked it backwards, so they've really got to start going the other way. And Rodriguez has worked under the ball. So for all their hard work there, the Bulldogs, they're still under the pump and in their back half. Parmenter. Now good run. Trying to get this ball forward, but the turnover comes. Now with Boland. Frank Boland. A lot of contest in front of him. It comes off like a wet fish off the boot. And Keel pounces. Has a bit of a run. Will want to have a bounce. Has one. Not a lot in front there. Now tracking back. And the kick not to the advantage. And Boland reads it well. Really put it to where Boland would want it. Now, good mark taken by Hendricks. Kirkhope. Kirkhope goes down the line and a good grab taken by Nixon. He's been their best of field by a long shot, has Tom Nixon. The kick inside from Davis is a good one. They try and move it on now. They've turned it over, but Davis, free kick's coming. Fortunate one there for Batten. He's worked his way forward. Now drops it on the boot. Trying to find his Poole up there. Tregoning on the right boot, doesn't come off. And Parmenter for the Bulldogs. Back to Plant. They've worked well together, those two. And now they find Ed Keel. And this is looming as danger for UTS, the way that the Bulldogs are working their ball down the sideline. That'll be a mark or a free kick, either way. Steinfort has to go behind his mark, so this will take some time. A little bit on here. Seems to be bubbling. Rodriguez there and Boland. So Steinfort with the ball back. And he goes the way he came. Finds Hendricks. Wants to go wide. Does so. Kirkhope. A couple of players on down the line if he wants to use them, but they go back. Now with Steinfort again. Racking up some possessions to talk about. And Flanagan. Out of side. Just trying to find an avenue to goal at the moment are the Bats. Wrapped up. We'll have a ball up. Go forward. The ball up. Plenty of stoppages in today's game. Ruckman have really had to earn their money this afternoon. Tregoning just throws on the boot, trying to get something going forward. Lavender attacks the football well. Falls to the bottom of the pack. They go forward again. Just a dribbling kick through. Goes through for behind. 4 goals, 10. Now the UTS boys. A lot of those kicks have been rushed kicks going forward, so not as if they've missed a lot on the set shots. Robbie. Good work and good hand movement. It's been the feature of their game today. The Bulldogs just moving the ball quickly. Here's Kafalis, shrugs one, gets it back. Now with Golden. Golden's dispossessed. Umpire will say holding the ball. Now Mesa drives them forward. Could have been a free kick against against Plant. Umpire says no. And they've got plenty of wide jumpers around this, although it lands in the arms there of Nixon. Nixon quickly throws it on the boot, lands in the arms of Lavender. And something out of nothing there. David Lavender. He'll go back with an opportunity to kick his second of the afternoon and a well-needed goal. If they're going to get themselves back into this game, they need to make the best of these situations. David Lavender. And, he's done enough to get it through. Didn't look good off the boot, but Lavender gets his second, and the UTS goal is exactly what they needed. 5 goals, 10-40. Plays 12-4, 76. The margin 36 points. Not insurmountable by any way, shape of the imagination, but a lot of work to do. Back in the middle, what can the UTS bats muster here? They go forward again and lands back in the arms of that man Lavender. So his second shot on goal in 30 seconds. Last one was successful. Lavender a little bit further out than the last one, but certainly not outside his distance. Off the boot well, and exactly what they needed. So David Lavender, well, he's mounting a one-man resistance. He's kicked another one, and 6 goals, margin back to 30 points. And they're not done with yet, the UTS boys. 3 goals to Lavender. And we're back in the middle. This time it's the Bulldogs who get the clearance. Out there, McKinlay. As is Hendricks. Hendricks will get the free kick. They go short. That was the minimum required distance. Good fly. Plenty of players under that pack. They go forward again, do the bats. Overrunning it there was Nixon. And swooping on the loose ball. Oh, coming out was Lavender. Put the player under pressure. Allowing it to bounce there was Soames. That's a tricky play. And there could be a free kick there. Umpire didn't see it. And they go forward again. Collett on the boot. Drives them forward. Good work tracking it back. There's Hendricks. He's had a good game in defence. Seen plenty of it. That kick's not a great one. Steinfort tries to make the best of a bad situation. And he's going to plead his case. Not going to get there in the end. I think the ball was well out. It was a good effort by Steinfort, but unable to convince the umpire. Troon plays on. Top of the square. Pack forms. Big fellas fly. Mason's there. Gets the hands clear. Does very well to keep the arms clear. Towan tries to bring it back. McKinlay will sit underneath this. Steinfort with a big fist. He's a man on the mission. And the ball goes out. We'll have a boundary throw in. 17.5 minutes played. Third quarter here at Waverly Oval. Porter and Mason go at it. Mason just works his player under the ball. And Collett wrapped up in a tackle there from McFarlane. We'll see another ball up. They've worked well, UTS. They're on top in this quarter. Touch ball. And they go forward again. Mater does well to keep his arms clear. Tregoning throws it forward, looking for Lavender. Ball comes down. Poole's there as well. Can't track it in. Ball goes over the boundary line. Widmer and Porter will go at it. Porter with the front swat. Widmer will use his strength. Brings it down now. Just tries to hit the ball at the ground level. It's a feature of their game. Get it on the ground and let the little men do their jobs. They drive it forward again. A chiseling kick forward and they get out of bounds. And another boundary throw in. Big men go out again. Porter does well there to keep his position in the ruck contest. That's what they want to do. They just like to bring the ball forward, put it on the deck, the Bulldogs, and let their players attack the football, the likes of Troon. And also in there was Towan. Another stoppage. As we've said before, plenty of stoppages this afternoon. It's 4th versus 8th. The Bulldogs sitting in 4th spot. A win will be very handy for them. 3 teams in that top 5 on a 70% match ratio system at the moment, having to use the match ratio because of the washout and unequal games being played by the teams in the competition. The Bulldogs now lurking in the arms of Keel. Goes one way, goes inside. Good work to McKinlay. McKinlay finds Jeremy Keel. Good football, and it'll be Keel to go back and have a shot on goal. Yeah, there's actually 4 teams on 7 wins in Pennant Hills, the Bulldogs, the Dragons, and Western Suburbs. And Bulldogs would dearly love to get another win on the board. They need a good hit of their percentage too, and Keel does his best to make that happen. Gets it through the middle. He's kicked 3 this afternoon, and that's the 13th for the Bulldogs. Next week, it's the Dogs take on Balmain, and they'd be keen to get another win there and try and build momentum going towards the end of the year. On the other side of the ledger, Manly Warringah it is who will take on UTS, and as we've seen in the Sydney AFL this year, Manly Warringah absolutely flying. They still maintain their top of the ladder status, the Wolves. Comes down, could have been a high tackle. Umpire says play on. Now wrapped up is Tregoning. Umpire says he's doing enough. We'll have it. Away they go again. Good work off the outskirts of the ruck there by the Bulldogs just to get it forward. Trying to do the work there was Williamson for the Dogs, and the boundary line wins out. We'll have a boundary throw in. Shadows getting longer here at Waverly Oval. It's been a beautiful day, a little bit of a chill in the air, but perfect conditions for football. Poole it was, got the ball clear, getting it out to Kirkhope, but the boundary line and a little bit in this. Been a few things happen around the outskirts of the boundary, and especially with this fence as close in it is, it's a danger period or danger area for players. Porter, nice little tap over. Poole trying to run onto it, can't find the handle. He's dispossessed there by his own player. Still going through his Poole, and plenty of others in there now. The pack forms. 22 minutes played. The margin 36 points. It'll be a big effort for the UTS bats to get back from here. We've seen bigger margins mown down. It'll be a high contact on Kirkhope. And he's been an absolute warrior for the UTS bats this afternoon, Rawson Kirkhope. Go out now, Adamson. His kick-off line. Steinford having to do plenty of slips catches this afternoon, trying to keep the ball in. They've not looked after him. Had a big day this morning, keeping us all updated. Ball comes in, very short throw in by the boundary umpire. It's the Dogs who go forward. Mason bowls over 2 in his attempts to get to that, but the boundary line is the winner in the end. Mason works his way to the front. They get it down, but it's UTS who it is to bring the ball away. Plenty of white jumpers around this, Parmenter being one of them. Can't win out. Boundary line just too close. Another boundary throw in. Porter done very much the bulk of the ruck work, whereas the Bulldogs have been able to sort of rotate a few players through there, including Rodriguez, Mason and Widmar amongst the contributors. Another boundary throw in. Shadows of three-quarter time. It's the Bulldogs by 6 goals. Plenty of work ahead of the UTS Bats if they're going to win this one. Free kick comes. We'll go to the Dogs. Been very good today, Mason. He's kicked the 2 goals, but he's done a lot of work also outside the 50-metre arc. This one within his striking distance. In the end, decides to go for it. He's not going to have the legs. Attacking it there. I think it was Golden trying to get it down. And in the end, Adamson tries to get it out of the area, but an errant kick. Once again, it's Tommy Steinfort. Needs to play a little bit closer inside the ground. Too many times they've tried to kick to him. It's gone out of bounds. So Mason gets another shot at it. A little bit closer this time. Tries the same approach. Just put it up. Let them fly. They'll go through for a rush behind. 13 goals, 5 now. The Bulldogs. Come out now. Mater was the target for the Bats. He does well to get the second effort on the ball. Drives them forward. Spragg running onto this. Nice little dinky kick on the left foot. Oh, good mark by Flanagan under pressure. Came up well. Liam Flanagan. Kick inside. Lavender will be the target. Couldn't bring it down. And the Bulldogs have just linked up very well in that back half. And the siren sounds for three-quarter time. And at three-quarter time, the margin 37 points in favour of the Bulldogs. 6-10-46, UTS 13-5-83. The Bulldogs will take a short break. They come back. We'll have all the action from final quarter here in about 5 minutes' time. It's round 12 at Waverly Oval.
good go on the joint kick to get a better
Yeah.
pace.
All set for the final quarter here at Waverly Oval. The margin 37 points in favour of the Bulldogs. And it's all in front of the UTS Bats if they want to get this a real watershed game for the Bats this afternoon. Sitting in 8th spot. Their finals hopes on the line. They really need to win every game going forward if they are to play in the 2013 finals. And it will start with this game here at their home deck at Waverly. It's been a good day for footy. No breeze and plenty of goals scored. Although the UTS have been a little errant in their forward forays. 6 goals, 10 on the board for them. We've seen plenty of stoppages in the game so far. And there'll be another one here. Umpire has a quick look and says, I'll have it. A little bit going on. A bit of feeling. It's University on University. UTS versus University of New South Wales. And they bring it out. Troon goes forward for the Dogs. Trying to get it out of the danger zone. Got some numbers here, UTS. They can use it. And a little bit down the field as well. Out in space. Trying to invent something, but boundary line wins out as James Keisha walks it over. Ruckman go at it again. Just wanting to bring it down to the Bulldogs. Back themselves in at ground level. Bulldogs be keen to really build the back end of their season. They've gone down to North Shore, Western Suburbs and Pennant Hills. The 3 teams, or North Shore and Pennant Hills, sitting above them on the ladder. And Western Suburbs right on their hammer. So if they're to make another run at their premiership defence, they'll need to start winning games, and they're in a good position to knock this one off. And then next week they head out to play Balmain. So all in front of the Bulldogs. Kefalis been fantastic for the Dogs this afternoon. They've done this well too, the Dogs, just slowing the game down at critical stages. Just playing the game at their pace. Mason, his kick chopped off. The UTS Bats just try and build something here. That won't help. Kicking the man on the mark, and the boundary line wins out. And gave him plenty too, as you should. Should never happen. Just give yourself that extra bit of space. Porter up against Rodriguez, and it goes back over the boundary line. Porter knocks it down. Just a quick kick off the boot. Trying to get some forward momentum for the Bats. There's high contact, that won't help. The Bulldogs have been willing to run this afternoon, pushing plenty of players back, and then running them forward when need be, and a good mark taken. UTS wanting to go back through the middle, but good work by Williamson. Drives them forward. Keel, the target, almost could have got a free kick there, Jeremy Keel. Back into the contest now again, as is Mater. Kick, not a good one. McKinlay, I love how he attacks the football. Top of the square, good work by Steinfort. He's been a pillar of strength for them in the back half, UTS. And rushes this one through for a behind. 13-6 now, the Bulldogs. The margin 38 points. Another boundary throw in. Almost in full shadow now, the ground. Just a few patches popping through this fantastic new stadium they've got here at Waverly Oval. Knocked down the old rickety grandstand and put in a fantastic new facility. Five minutes played here in the final quarter. It's the Bulldogs by 38 points. They come away now. Poole with the ball, goes inside with the hands. They've worked this well, the UTS bats. Oh, just took his eyes off the ball at the last minute there, Tom Nixon. And it goes out of bounds. He'll be dirty on himself for that one. Been a good day. UTS put on a good show down here at Waverley. Got the jumping castle for the kids. And plenty of beverages flowing as well. Beautiful way to spend a Saturday afternoon. And they go forward. In there is Davis, wants to pick it up, does so, but just wrapped up in a tackle straight away, going nowhere. And the umpire will have it. Prince, it is in the ruck against Rodriguez. Rodriguez does well to work his way under the ball. Knocks it forward now with Kirkhope. Been in their best this afternoon. Hendricks drives them forward. Pushed under the ball there was Tregonning. Gets it back though. Works his way into a bit of space. Now has a look at goals. Sizes them up. Has he got it online? Just to the right-hand side. 6 goals, 11 now. Golden with the football. He'll bring it back in for the Dogs. Oh, in a bit of trouble now. Had to invent something there. Finally got it to McAllister. And they come out. Oh, good mark taken. Cramped up in the process. Will hand off, does so now. Gives to Kirkhope. Kirkhope drives them inside 50. Plenty of players around this. Loking is Lavender. As is plenty of white jumpers around the footy. It's going in the right direction for the Bats, but just offline. We'll have a boundary throw in. Seven minutes played. I'll have to start scoring goals quickly. The UTS Bats. Yeah, bit of an injury there. It was to Tregonning. Tried to swing the ball out of the air. Hit a player on the way through. Mason. His kick, Jeremy Keel. He's been solid for them, as he always is. Keel goes forward and finds Soames. Mitch Soames with a good contested mark. Goes inside. Kick just offline. Kirkhope. Oh, his kick's even more offline. Soames gets a second chance at it. Takes the second chance. Still the kick's offline. So a little bit of a circus happening here at the moment. Good work there by Troon. Gets it forward. They've got another shot on goal here, the Bulldogs, and this one's online. So something out of nothing. And a good goal in the end. Pick up who that was in the sunlight. It was actually Troon, actually Ryan Plant who got that one through. So good reward for effort for Ryan Plant. He adds it to another name on the goal kickers list. 8.5 minutes played. back in the middle. And Pack Fawns, good work there by Nichols. He's drawn the free kick. And you'd have to think another goal here, and it's lights out for UTS. Good mark taken by Tower, and they're really getting some clean football in these late stages of the game. And Tower will go back now. He wants to have a shot. Not a bad option at this point of the game. Michael Towan got every piece of it. It's a fantastic goal from outside 50, and the Dogs are home. Margin 49 points. It's been that way for a while now, but really driving it home with that goal, Michael Towan. That's his first. So if we have a look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 individual goal scorers for the Bulldogs. Hard to defend when you've got that many people going forward. Hard to see here with the sunlight in the background. And it's Nichols again. Well, he's been handy in this last quarter. Done some very good things this afternoon. Plant drives them forward. Free kick will come. It'll go to Poole, Michael Poole, against Collett. Poole wants to run. Does so, runs his full measure. And the ball goes down in there. In the area is Nixon. Probably not doing enough. Does so now, gets it clear. Plenty of blokes standing around. They've worked hard today for no reward at times, the UTS bats. On this occasion, we'll get a free kick against them. They showed a bit of toe in that third quarter and also in the opening stages of the second quarter did UTS, but on the whole been very well outplayed by the Bulldogs today. Mason driving long, trying to build something. Falls good. Fell very well there to Williamson, who's quickly taken advantage of the ball being loose. Kicked it through. Another one on the board, and it's really starting to get ugly now for the Bats. Williamson, well, he becomes the 12th goal scorer for University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs. They've been very good this afternoon, the Bulldogs, showing some premiership form here at Waverly Oval. Kick. Sit into that and play fair. They didn't. That'll spark something there. That was a little bit callous there from Mitch Soames. Just ran into the player. Keep an eye on this. There's been a report. So we'll have a closer look at that during the week, but you'd have to say not a lot of intent of the football there. Fantastic to see Kirkhope come up all right. And to be honest with you, it's totally unnecessary there from Soames. We've got this one in the bag. And this is just starting to bubble. And a yellow card as well, so probably the best result at the moment to just get him out of the play. You heard it. Hope you didn't hear it if you're got the kids sitting there watching the football. But anyway, we'll move on. UTS now trying to build something on the back of the report there from Soames. They go forward, just trying to get the ball off the deck. Good work there by McFarlane. But in the end, the umpire said didn't make an attempt. Incorrect disposal. And coming away is A little bit going on here at the moment. We might just try and see and make sure we capture everything going on. As the Bulldogs go forward again. Bounces beautifully for Keel. Throws it on the right boot. Beautiful goal. And Jeremy Keel gets his 4th. So a good day out for Keel in the forward line. And a good day out for the Bulldogs. That's their 17th goal of the afternoon. Margin out beyond 10 goals now. Approaching the 15-minute mark of this final quarter. The Bulldogs have it in the bag. It was a fantastic run on goal. Sat beautifully for Jeremy Keel. And just a little bit of feeling. Probably the only story left in this game is just a little bit of feeling, a little bit of niggle around the play. And Keel taken out there. Could have been a free kick. He's pleading his case from his haunches. That's a free kick every day of the week as well. So starting to lose the plot, the UTS bats, and just want to make sure they don't do anything very silly. They do take on Manly Warringah next week, so they'll need all the cattle they can muster. And Kefalis will go back. He's got his chance to get his second. Peter Kefalis, always in the best. Just fades it right at left. 17-7 now. Comes out again. Good set mark there. Really set himself for that. Here, Dylan Roos, and strong hands overhead. Drives them back inside 50. The free kick will come. So a little bit of interest gone out of this game, I think, from the UTS bats. They're a little bit more interested in trying to square the ledger. Preparation on this kick. Nice strike. Just fades right though. So a few blemishes on the scorecard late for the Bulldogs. Hendricks. There's not a lot on offer at the moment for the bats. Trying to will it towards Kirkhope. Sits nicely for him. Goes back inside. Kick by Spragg. Just trying to get the ball clear. There's a free kick here. Umpire's seen something. Umpire's high contact. Go to Nixon. Sorry, not Nixon. Other side of the page. Golden. And the Dogs muster here. Oh, Mason, nice mark. 2 grabs at it. Second one falling away. And they'll just a stoppage here. Have to go back behind his mark. Mason, top of the arc. Oh, good attempt there from Roos. Just caught one in the head. Need to go on with. It's a fair attempt at a spoil, so nothing really in it. And they drive it again. UTS really now struggling to get the ball forward. It's approaching the 19-minute mark of the quarter. Rodriguez, he's been good today this afternoon as well. working his way into the ruck, also doing a bit of work at ground level. Another player, Plant. Well, he's just a staunch contributor for the Bulldogs as well. A little bit of heat gone out of this game now. Home side reserved to the fact that they just didn't step up to the mark this afternoon. Free kick here. Come back. Just waiting on a signal. Against the UTS, so they'll come back for the Bulldogs. And good kick, good lead, great mark. Mason again. He's a big time player, Henry Mason. In fact, free kick's gone against him. That's must have been something I didn't see, because that was a clean mark. There's no way Mason could have infringed. Must have been off the plate. Kirkhope just can't bring it in, but shows a little bit of pace and a little bit of dash. Wants to run. They go forward again, UTS. Just waiting now. Got one long if he wants to go long to Davis, but in the end now, shot on goal, the only option, with plenty of players streaming back. Kick looks good off the boot, just to the right hand side and the behind. 6 goals, 12 UTS. Margin 62 points. Just counting this one down, 21 minutes played. And the turnover comes now with McFarlane. Daniel McFarlane, opportunity to get his name on the goal kickers list. Nice strike on line, and he does so. So a late goal to UTS. It's 7th for the afternoon. The first for Daniel McFarlane. The margin back to 56 points. Last time they met was at the Village Green, and it was the Bulldogs by 28 points. This one considerably a bigger margin at the 56 points at the moment. UTS trying to do a bit to rein that in as they go forward again. Davis, he's wrapped up, gets rid of it. Atkinson running onto it. He might have pulled the free kick here, and he has. Atkinson will have a shot on goal if he pleases. A kick from right on the paint. Be a good kick if you can get it, Atkinson. Good 50-metre roost. Goes for distance. Is it on line? It is. Just enough from Atkinson. And it gets another one on the board late for UTS. That's their 8th. And Atkinson's first. Consolation goal at this stage of the game. Margin back to 50 points. Probably missed an opportunity here, the Bulldogs, to build a bit of momentum and also a bit of percentage in this game. At one stage there, they looked like they were really going to run away with it. And UTS have stayed with it, and credence to them for just sticking at the cause. Out of the middle as easy as you like, and Parmenter on the receiving end. And he'll have a shot on goal. Josh Parmenter. Nice strike again. Doesn't have the legs. Mason there falls beautifully. Can they run onto it? They'll have rushed this through UTS. And umpire will see a free kick here. It's in the back. A little bit to go on with. It'll go to the bats. So contest. Ball comes clear. Trying to run it through UTS. Out to Davis. Bounce doesn't help him. Goes back on it though and is able to get the ball clear. Sweeping handball in front of Tregoning. He couldn't pick it up. Ruse now puts it on the hands. Now with Robbie. Short kick inside. Here's a good one and finds Williamson. And Tom Williamson will go back. He's already kicked one this afternoon. This for his second. Williamson from just outside 50. Doesn't come off the boot well. Just to the right. 17-9, 111. Push out. It'll be a free kick to Porter. "26 minutes played here at Waverly Oval. Can't be long to go in this final quarter. The Bulldogs will take the points and try and just build a little bit of momentum as we head towards the pointy end of the season. A couple of games ahead of them, which they'll pencil in for the win. But still a long way to go. And plenty of teams vying for that top two spot on the ladder. McKinlay now goes long. Mason this time uses the body well. Takes the mark. He's got a good set of hands, Henry Mason. And the kick's a good one as well. So Williamson will take a mark. You want to move this on quick. Probably a good opportunity to get another one on the board. Williamson. Comes in. This time he's done the same thing. Pushed it right. Another one on the behind side of the ledger. 17-10, 112 plays, 8-12, 60. Down the middle, and that's the final siren. That'll be the margin. 52 points in the end. And the Bulldogs come away with the points. As we wrap this one up here at Waverly Oval. It was a solid effort by the Bulldogs across the day. They led. There was a few patches from the Bats. They really tried to work their way back into the game, but unfortunately weren't able to do so. It's been a good day down here at Waverly Oval. In the end, the margin 52 points in favour of the Bulldogs. It was 8-12, 60 UTS. The Bulldogs 17-10, 112. That's it for round 12 here at Waverly Oval. It's been a fantastic day for football. Make sure you join us as we bring you all these games live from the AFL Sydney, and we'll be back very shortly with more.